Good morning, friends. It's Terrific Tuesday. Kelly, good morning. How are you, my friend? I'm back working on the fall blanket this morning, guys. It definitely feels like fall out there. It's starting 63 degrees. Jody, good morning. Welcome, welcome. This is the yarn we're using this morning. Isn't it pretty? We're going to be ready to change colors here pretty soon. I'm excited for the color change. Mitra, good morning. Welcome in. We're using a size I9 hook this morning. Where is my I9 hook this morning? Is the question. Was I prepared? Is the question. Negative. Negative. This one. All right. All right. All right. Mimi, good morning. Gen X Purple Heart is here. Good morning. Leah, good morning. Kay, good morning. Welcome in. This is a beautiful pattern, Ashton. This is, believe it or not, the Study of Snow. We started this last week and we're making it a rectangle. My first time making a rectangle. Lindsay, good morning. How are you, my friend? Gigi, good morning. Karen is here. Good morning. Hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. Oh, I'm glad to see the stickers are working, but are we limited on stickers is the question. How many stickers do y'all see? We used to have oh yeah, see, it's all limited now. With this change thing over here on TikTok, they've limited the amount of stickers. I think I have 14 stickers. It says 15, but I couldn't get the 15th one to load. This is the Study of Snow, guys. Study of Snow pattern. And we made a rectangle. We did this last week on the live. We started and turned it into a rectangle. I don't remember how many I chained. I want to say it was 39. Um, I'm good. My daughter keeps requesting the bird cam and asking where the tractor is. Lizzie, that is too cute. My husband's at work today, so there's not going to be much tractor action over there on that camera, but that means we have a little peace and quiet as well. So, Nina, good morning. Welcome in. And if we look at the Study of Snow pattern, where I left off, you can see here we did puff stitches. That is this row right here. So after we do the complicated puff stitch row, Mikey gives us a little break, and all we're going to do is a row of double crochets all the way around. Easy peasy. In the corners, you can see here we have a chain of 3. That counts as our first double crochet. Now, for me, I'm going to use a stack, or excuse me, not a stacked, a standing double crochet. And then there's another one in the corner. So as you look at these stitches, see how these stitches stack up on top of each other? So this tells me we're going to put a double crochet here. It looks like a little T. Now that has the loop-de-loop of the row below, so you have to come over here to the legend. But there is our double crochet. That's how I know what that is. Then into this space, see how we had the chain there? We're also going to do a double crochet. See how that double crochet sits right on top? And then into the top of the puff stitch, double crochet. So I'm going to have one double crochet all the way around. Now, as we get to the corner, see these little ovals? That is our chain stitch. And so what that tells us, that was our corner where we did a chain of 2. See how these double crochets here are pointing to that chain? So that's how I know in the corners we're going to have 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then continue on. Remember, as you look at these diagrams, this is one slice of the pie. There's going to be a total of 4 of these quadrants, and we'll continue that around. So again, this morning we're using an I9 hook, Study of Snow pattern modified into a rectangle. And this is the yarn we're using. This yarn is the Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. Really big skein of yarn, 1,181 yards. This is a 3 lightweight yarn. It calls for an H8. However, I went up a size on this and I'm using an I9. I want this to be really flowing. There are 9 products in the shopping bag today. What is going on with this shopping bag thing? I think TikTok's like doing this on its own. I don't even know what this is. Let me see if I can turn this off. Hang on, I got to take you out of Cradle so I can see this. I don't understand. Where do I even turn this off? Shopping bag? Why is it doing this? I don't even know what these are. Let's see if that made it go away. Did it go away now? No. I think it's still there. Why do they make this why do they make this so confusing for me, y'all? Live gifts. That's not it. What is going on with this thing? Jen, should I restart it? Like, I don't want this on here. I hate this thing. It's your showcase, but I didn't set up a showcase. I don't even know how to turn this off. I mean, I don't even have this stuff. Campaigns? No. So frustrating. I wish I knew how to turn it off. It's such random items. I know, right? Jen, can you see my phone over on YouTube? Are you on YouTube? No, that's not it. Sorry, y'all. Can I get rid of them and delete them out of there? Delete. It puts this stuff in there automatically. Maybe if I put nothing in there, if I delete all this crap out of there, it'll be gone. I figured out how to delete them. Don't buy this stuff, guys. I don't recommend any of this. I don't know what this crap is. Okay, is it empty now? Yeah, at least it's empty now. Okay, I can live with that. Y'all, I just want to crochet. Why do they make this so complicated? Lefty, thank you so much for the finger hearts. I appreciate that. I know, Lindsay, but I don't use TikTok Studio. That's what's so weird about it. Like, I don't know how I just use my phone. I don't even have TikTok Studio. And it keeps showing up here on this thing. And y'all, I don't want to sell anything. I just want to get on here and crochet. Y'all, that's the whole goal. We just want to get on here and crochet. That's it. Okay, so we're going to start with a standing double crochet. Hey Marsha, good morning. Welcome in. You deleted them and now it's gone from my phone. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So glad that's taken care of. I just wanted to crochet never resonated with me more. Right, Kennedy? Stop doing all this complicated stuff, TT. I'm so confused. All right, here's how I do my standing double, guys. I pull it up about the height of a double crochet. I twist my hook towards me and away from me counterclockwise. I put a little twist here in my yarn. Little twist action. Then I go down through the space and I draw up a loop. So now I have 2 loops on my hook. I yarn over and I pull through the first one, and now I am back to 2 loops. Now, normally you'd want to draw through and pull this through, and instead, when I'm doing my standing double, what I do is I put my hook down and away from me, and I twist up, keeping both those loops on my hook. Then I yarn over and pull through both of them. That is how I make my standing double. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with the standing double, you could do a chain of 3 here. You could do a stacked single. Either way is totally fine. We need another double crochet here in the corner, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets right back down into that corner. Hey, Queen 530, good morning. Mama Bird is here. Good morning. Sorry, I know a lot of you popped on when I was doing TikTok figuring out. So good morning. If I missed saying good morning, friends, glad everybody is here. Vicky, good morning. Red Lady said I started my first hexagon cardigan last night. Well, that is very exciting. I hope you have fun with that pattern. That'll be really exciting. Hey, Caroline, good morning. All right, now here we go. We're going to do a double crochet in each stitch. Remember, as you look at your stitches, this is the post of the stitch here. The top of the stitch always sits to the right. Sometimes this first stitch will get hidden underneath your corner. So you have to pull this back to reveal your hidden stitch here. And that's where I'm going to place my first double crochet. MJ, good morning. Welcome in, my friend. Here's another double crochet. Now, we're going to do a double crochet in between these post stitch. See where we did our chain here? Instead of trying to work into that chain, what we're going to do is just work right into this space. What that does is it kind of pulls up that stitch and it really helps these puff stitches be the star of the show. Into the top of the puff stitch, double crochet. Now here we are back in between. Again, right into that space, do your double crochet. Top of the puff. Top of the puff to you this morning. And we're just going to work this double crochet all the way around. Very easy row this morning. I'm so sorry if you explained this. How did you decide how many starting chains to use? That is a great question. So when we started the rectangle, y'all, you got to do a little basic math here in the morning. So get your noggins on. How we determine is we take the finished size of our blanket. Okay, so you have to decide up front, are you doing a twin size? Are you doing a lap blanket? What size are you doing? So let's say, for example, I want to do a 50 by 60 throw blanket. Okay, 50 inches by 60 inches. I take the length and I subtract the width of the finished size. So 60 minus 50 gives me 10 inches. When I start this chain, I will chain up a total of 10 inches. Now, the other caveat to this is it has to be divisible by 3. So can you see there? This is where I started here. Here's my 10-inch mark right here. Okay, so I chain up a total of 10 inches worth of chains, but it has to be divisible by 3. And I don't remember what that was for this one. I want to say it was 39, but I'd have to go back and rewatch the YouTube from last week. We did it on Thursday, I think. Maybe it was Wednesday. I don't know. All these days run together. But that's how you determine your starting chain. So for me, I'm doing a wheelchair size blanket. And the finished size that I would like mine to be is a 35 by 45. So what I do is I take 45, subtract 35, and that is also 10 inches. So I chained 10 inches worth, I think it's 39, and then I added one as a turning chain. So after I got that initial chain right here of 39, I came back and I did a single crochet row into all of those stitches. Okay. You could also do a foundation chain here if you want um, to do a foundation chain. That's totally fine. I'm kind of old school that way. So starting chain of 39 is going to get me to a 35 by 45-ish, right? It's kind of rough. And then after I did my single crochet all the way around, I came back and into one side of the chain, I did 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. That ends up being the corner of our blanket. Then I skipped 2 and I worked my granny clusters all the way around. So skip 2 and then I did 3 double crochets. Skip 2, 3 double crochets, skip 2, and so on all the way across until I got to the other end of my chain. and I did my other corner and then repeated back the other side. Then I just carried on with the pattern. But you can watch a free complete replay of this where we did it last week on my YouTube. So yeah, it's almost like a granny square, Brandon. Exactly. And this is really how I like to start my rectangle blankets. So what I did is I took this square pattern, the Study of Snow, and I turned it into a rectangle. And now I'm just working these stitches up in Mikey's pattern. I'm following how he did it. But instead of a square shape, I'm going to have a rectangle shape. And we are on the 6th row right here. We're doing double crochets into every stitch. And in the corner, we're doing 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. So that is what I'm doing right now. When I do my modern granny blanket, I do it exactly the same way in the center. So I use this quite a bit. It's kind of my go-to. I really like how it looks. It almost looks like little bow ties or candy wrappers to me, but I think it gives it a really cool look in the very center of the blanket. So basically, the reason why I did it, why I deviated from the pattern, is because the pattern, the Study of Snow, is square shape, and I wanted it to be a rectangle blanket. I feel like rectangles work better for blankets. I kind of don't like them square shape. If it's going to be like a throw blanket for the couch or something, I prefer it to be a rectangle. So that's why I modified it. So I hope that helps to answer your question. Now, as I mentioned, my handle over on YouTube is Wheeler 8 Acres. Same thing here as my TikTok. And I'm live this morning on both TikTok and YouTube, friends. So right now we have folks watching us over on YouTube as well. When I go on YouTube, I stream horizontal versus portrait. TikTok, you get the portrait view. YouTube, you get the landscape view so you can watch it on your TV full screen. Okay. And that way you can go back and rewind it and pause it. Now, when you go over to my YouTube, guys, there's different categories on my profile. There's one that says videos, there's one that says shorts, and there's one that says live. Because we are live this morning on YouTube, that is where you'll find the replay is in that live category. And that's where most of my content kind of chills out at. Simply because I'm a hobby crocheter, I'm not making a ton of tutorials. I try, but I do work full time, and so it's one of those things. Ooh, color change. We're into that orange now, friends. Now we're gonna get that fall vibe coming in. Do you also chain two for modern granny squares? I'm not crazy about the holes. For my modern granny, I chain two in the corners, Vicky, but I do not chain in between these clusters that I make. Okay, I don't chain any. Same thing here. I did not chain anything in between these granny clusters at all. So I just do my 3 double crochets, skip 2, move to the next, and then do my 3 double crochets. No chaining at all is how I do mine. I'm not a fan of the holes either. So it's everybody has a personal preference. Some people like it to have a little wider of holes. It's entirely up to you. But in the corners, when I'm doing my modern granny, I do the same thing where I do a chain of 2 in the corners. Hey, Julie, good morning. Welcome in. Hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. I was so busy this weekend. My husband and I, Mr. Wheeler, he got a little XJ Jeep a week or so ago, and he's going to lift it up and, put mud tires on it and all those 4x4 off road kind of things that my husband does. And anyhow, we went up to Tennessee. We went to, oh, what was the town's name? It's this side of Memphis or of Nashville. Totally drawing a blank. I should know. I should remember what it is. Anyhow, a little town outside of Nashville. Yeah, those men things exactly. My husband, he's into big trucks and off-roading and four-wheel drive. So anyhow, we had a nice little road trip up to Tennessee. And then I worked on some squares I had. I kind of always have like a road trip bag prepared. So I worked on the Mucho Mango squares. Yes, Kelly, I was. I can't think of the name of the town. I want to say it has two M's in it. I'm thinking like Summerlin or that's not right. Sutherford. No, that's not right. I can't think of, no, it wasn't Spring Hill. Um, I can't think of what it's called. It's past where you turn to go to Lynchburg to Jack Daniels. I don't think it was Somerton. I'm totally drawing a blank of what the little town was, but it was pretty. It was a cute little town. We took Diesel with us. Diesel likes to do road trips. He does. Now, Mo, on the other hand, he's more of a homebody. He does not like riding in the car. And I don't know why. We started him out young riding in the car. No, it wasn't Shelbyville. Um, Boy, that's gonna really, really bug me now. Nana Jesus said, "Good morning. I'm starting this. Wish me luck." All right. Vicky, have a great day. I hope you Somerton has a lot of off-road stuff. Um we were at exit I want to say exit 55 was there's a GUN place. Um we were this side of that place. I can't think of what the town was. Gosh, that's going to bug me. Diana, good morning. I am working on a study of snow blanket. This is a free pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. However, I have modified it and I'm making this rectangle shape instead of um, square. So I've just modified this. And right now we're working a very easy row of double crochets. I'm working a double crochet in between the puff stitches, and then I'm working a double crochet in the top of the puff stitch. Now our next stitch we're going to be doing is a back post. So we're going to get another little line of texture coming in. This is the same pattern that I'm doing for my county fair blanket. And I do this pattern a lot for my baby blankets. I have another baby blanket in the works for Rachel's gift. I started that on Sunday, I think. Maybe it was Saturday. I don't know. All these days run together, you guys. This yarn I'm using is the Lion Brand Bonus Bundle Mandala. This is a very large skein of yarn, 1,181 yards. Now, friends, if you are going to get this yarn, this is what it looks like. Do not buy this yarn at Michael's. Okay, at Michael's, it's like $24 for the skein, which is really, really expensive. But this is what it looks like. Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. And as I mentioned, 1,181 yards. This yarn is great if you want to do a 3-weight cardigan. It is 100% acrylic, machine washable, and dryable. And as I mentioned, it's great for if you want to do a lighter weight cardigan. This is the colorway Elektro, and to me, it just looks like fall colors. So really pretty yarn. Now it calls for an H8 hook. However, I am using an I9 hook this morning. Also, Red Lady level 22, congratulations. If you are doing a wearable, I definitely recommend going up a size minimum. You could do either an I, which is a 5.5 millimeter, or you could even go up to a J for a cardigan. That'll make it very loose and flowy. But I thought it would make a pretty fall blanket for a lap blanket. So we've got a lighter color orange that we're doing here. Of course, the peach was in the very center. We're going to get out to a brighter orange and then transition to these beautiful golds and yellows. So really, really pretty. Anyhow, back to where you get this yarn at. Okay. Michael's, it's like $24 a skein. Way too pricey. The first place I look for this yarn, believe it or not, is Wally World. Okay. Usually I can find some of this and it depends on the colors. Okay. But I can, like the last time I got it, it was like 13.75, 13.60 a skein at Walmart. Okay. Half the price of Michael's. So even if you're going to use a Michael's coupon, you're still going to pay more for this yarn. Or you can get it from Lion Brand. Wait till they have a sale. This might be on sale right now. I'm not sure. And it's like 15 bucks at Lion Brand, typically when it's on sale. But it might be even less right now at Lion Brand. I know they were having a sale over the weekend. I don't know if it's still going. But I do have quite a few colors of this, and I just thought it would be nice to make up kind of some lighter weight lap blankets that aren't so heavy. Fall is kind of, you want to take the chill off, but you don't need something like winter bundle up kind of blanket. So that's why I thought this yarn would be nice to do a kind of a fall project. Now, I have been going full out on beanies, trying to get some more beanies done. Judy, this is the Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. And it is in the colorway Elektro, Elektro. And the pattern that I'm working this morning, friends, is called The Study of Snow. This is a free pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. It's a Yarn Inspirations pattern. He has a full tutorial on his YouTube channel, along with the written pattern you can find at Yarn Inspirations or on Mikey's website. But it's called The Study of Snow. This is what it looks like. Now, keep in mind, this pattern, when he wrote this, he wrote it for a 6 super bulky yarn. Do not let that deter you from this pattern. This morning I'm using a 3-weight yarn. I've also done it in a 4-weight yarn. It is a beautiful pattern. I feel like it's underrated because I think people see that 6 super bulky and they shy away from it. Try it with a 4-weight. You're going to love it, I promise. And he uses an L11 8 millimeter. Friends, I just match it to the yarn. So if my yarn is a 4-weight yarn and it calls for an I9, a 5.5 millimeter, that's what I use. I don't have to modify the pattern at all. I just change my yarn and change my hook size to match. But it is full written. If you want the written directions, that is available. The thing I love about this pattern, most of you guys know, I do not read patterns. So when I see this text and all this, it's just jumbled up words to me, y'all. That's not how my brain thinks. However, how my brain does think is with these diagrams, and I follow the diagram and I can make this pattern from start to finish. Now, I did watch his YouTube tutorial as well. His tutorials are amazing. Mikey is really the one who got me out of my shell with my crocheting to try new patterns, even though I couldn't read patterns. So I highly recommend the Crochet Crowd, Mikey, if you want to learn and kind of, branch out and do some different stitches and stuff. So I'm back around with my double crochet. I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch here, which was my standing double. And now I'm going to work my way over to the corner. I'm just going to do slip stitch. When I do slip stitches, I take this yarn and I pull it underneath this one. And then I go into the corner. Same thing. Those slip stitches sit very flat to my work here. And it just allows me to move from this position to this position in my crocheting. Okay, so here's where we're at right now with our pattern. You can see we've changed the orange color. Again, I modified this pattern to be a rectangle. You can rewatch how we did this over on my YouTube. Wheeler 8 Acres is where you can find the replay. So if we look at our pattern, I just finished round number 6, which is this row of double crochets right here. Our next stitch we're going to be doing is round 7. So as we look at this diagram, what we're going to do is we match up these symbols that he's showing across this line with our legend here. So what he is telling us in the corner, he has this little oval. The oval is a chain. So he tells me I'm going to chain 1. See how there's one oval? Chain 1. Now there's a T right here. Come over to your legend, find the T. The T is a half double. So chain 1, then I'm going to do a half double. Where you see these little arrow things here, this is telling us the continuation. Okay, so this is like where the corner is going to be. As we move along, see how these stitches sit on top of the other stitches of the row below? This is the double crochet rows that we did. So this is a T with a little hatch, and then it has this loop-de-loo at the bottom. So again, I come over here, here's the T, there's our little hatch, there's our loop-de-loo. It tells me it's a DCBP. That is a double crochet back post. I call this back post double crochet, same thing. So what Mikey is telling us is we're going to do a back post double crochet around every stitch. We're going to work around those double crochets that we just made all the way across. Now, do you see how there's these two ovals here in the corner? Once again, that is the chain. So of the row below, you can see right here, we did a chain of 2 in the corners. See how this T stitch is pointing to that chain space? So that is how I know in the corners, I'm going to do a half double crochet, chain 2. Now remember, as you look at diagrams, this is a slice of the pie. This is 1/4 section. This is a square pattern, okay? So envision there's another one here, and so on. So there's a total of 4. So I'm going to continue this around, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, again, working this back post double crochet all the way around. Now, we modified this pattern and we did it a rectangle, but it still is going to work exactly the same as we work these stitches. Okay, so here we go in the corner. If you do it Mikey's way, you'll do a chain of 1 and then do your half double, chain 2, and then do your half double in the corner. Now, see how this stitch, when you do this, do you see how huge this looks compared to this? I do not follow how Mikey does his because I do not like how bulky this stitch looks. I think it looks terrible, if I'm being honest. So, the way that I do mine is I do like an elongated single crochet. So I kind of pull it up to the height of a half double. I go down through, I pull up a loop. I pop my loop out, I give it a little twist, and then I go through and make a half double that way. It's kind of a modified half double. But when I end up with it finished, it looks a lot smaller. It still doesn't look exact, but it looks better, I think, than what Mikey does. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this is the other way you could do it, is not do the twist. But I don't know if I really like that either. I haven't figured out a really great way to do these that I am like in love with. I've tried doing it like a twisty thing on it too, like this, but I don't know if I like that either. It doesn't look bad. That actually looks pretty good, right? It's about the same bulkiness. Okay, carrying on. So that's our corner, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. Now, once again, we're going to work a back post double crochet all the way around. Here is one little bit of information, guys. You may ask yourself, well, why would we do a half double in the corner and then do a back post around here that's a double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why don't you just do half doubles the whole way around, right? Or why don't you do double crochets all the way around, including the corners? And the reason why is when you work the back post double crochet, instead of working it here in the top of the stitch under our 2 loops, we're going to be working it around the post of the stitch, the legs down here below. When you do that, that back post double crochet will actually end up being shorter than a normal double crochet, and it matches more closely to a half double crochet height wise in the corner. So that is why we do a smaller half double in the corner and then do our back post double crochets. All right, so here we go. Let's do back post for those that have not done it. We're going to wrap our yarn around once. Now, as I was first learning my back post, what I would find is as I was working this stitch, my yarn would slide here to the very tip of my hook, and I had a really hard time controlling my yarn to make these stitches. So the way that I figured out to do it is I actually put my thumb here and I can control this yarn with my thumb as I'm working this stitch. I pull it back. That way it leaves the entire tip of my hook free to be able to work this stitch. I put my work forward. I slide my hook underneath the post of that stitch. Now I can let this thumb go and I drag. drag up a loop, draw up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So you can see how that back post is sitting around the post of the stitch. And this front, the loops, the top loops, are going to be exposed and they're going to start popping forward and give this really cool line of texture. So see right here, same thing that has been accomplished. Now, if I pull out my county fair blanket where we've done this, same thing here. See how this line of texture is popping through? We're doing the same thing on this pattern. This is just a different yarn. Same pattern, different yarn. Okay, so that's why we're doing these the way that we're doing it. Okay, so let's do this some more. Is this helpful for those that do not know how to do the back post half double? I'm going to miss some comments here, friends. So bear with me here as I am talking through these stitches. Okay. The mods will definitely try to help. Naughty Wendy, this is the Study of Snow. Lana, the purple yarn I'm using is Premier Yarns, and it is their Premier Gradient, and this is the colorway Purple Tones. I'm using this. This is a same pattern, but different yarn. I'm making a full size blanket that's going to go in the county fair, but you can kind of see this is more of this or square shape in the center here. See how it looks different? So anyhow, that is the yarn I'm using. So different project, same pattern. Rachel, good morning. Welcome in, my friend. Okay, so here we go back to our back post work. So once again, we're not going to work under these stitches. Normally you work your double crochets under the top 2 loops here. It kind of looks like a sideways V. We're going to ignore that for this stitch and we're going to work down here around the post. So once again, wrap your yarn around. I use my thumb here to pull this. If I don't put my thumb there, what happens? When I put my work forward, see how this yarn is pulling way down here to the corner? It was making it hard for me to be able to work this stitch as I was doing it. So that's why now I just put my thumb here. And of course, I normally make these stitches a lot faster, guys. This is like the slow-mo learner version. Okay. So wrap my yarn around, controlling it here with my thumb, pull it back underneath that post, grab up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Here we go again, yarn over, put my work forward, slide my post, my hook underneath the post, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. See how that yarn is popping forward? This is why we do our back post stitches, is it helps to give it this really cool like line of texture. And it's you would think it's harder to make, but these do take some practice, guys. So if you're new to this stitch, I sat for days practicing this stitch before I got kind of sort of proficient at it. Hey Debbie, good morning. Welcome in. Got your coffee. All right, I got my coffee too, although I haven't had a whole lot of it this morning. But we're getting there. We're waking up. We're waking up. I worked on my purple blanket this morning. And so here we go. Yarn over, put our work forward, slide our hook underneath the post, draw up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now, friends, as you get more proficient with this, you'll I don't put my work forward drastically like that anymore. Okay. But when I was first doing that, oh my gosh, my whole stack of beanies just fell over on me. Y'all want to see the beanies since they all just fell on me? I'll show you my latest projects. This is my beanie pile for donation. Pink and gray. This is these are wheat stitch beanies I've been doing. Green and white. We're gonna have to put these over in Mr. Wheeler's chair. Here's the blue one. This is the one I'm going to put in the county fair, is this blue one. I put a little pom-pom on him. but I thought the blue looked really pretty. My whole pile is falling over. I got my pom-poms off of the Zon, Sammy. I really like how this brown turned out. Isn't it pretty? These are all the wheat stitch beanies. Here's this one's not a wheat stitch. This one was half doubles with the blue. This yarn is the Karma yarn. And this one is a pink one. I just finished this last night, the pink one. I think it turned out really cute, the pink. But this one is also the Karma yarn. Cute, right? I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I have projects like stacked beside me, and those all just like fell over on me as I was working. So might as well show everybody, right? Danita, the brown color is the Karma yarn. Karma. Chantel, the pattern we're working on this morning is called the Study of Snow. The Study of Snow. We'll be doing more beanies probably next week. This week, we're going to work on the Study of Snow today. Tomorrow, we're going to work on the wheat stitch scarf that I have going. And Thursday, we're going to finish the pumpkin that we worked on last Thursday. You guys remember the pumpkin we were doing? The wheat stitch pumpkin? That we're going to do on Thursday. So here we are. We finished our whole row now. Okay. Look at that cool line of texture. Isn't it neat when you color change like that? Pattern for the beanie. Chantel, it is a free pattern. It is by um, Brianna K on YouTube. Brianna K. And it's called the Wheat Stitch Beanie. The Wheat Stitch Beanie. She also has the pumpkin. That's what we're doing on Thursday. This is the pumpkin that we're doing. We're going to finish this Thursday for our live. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of wheat stitch right now. I feel like wheat is kind of fall vibes, right? Okay, so here we are back to the corner. We did half double crochet, chain two, half double crochet. Now we're going to continue working those post stitches all the way along the side here. So back post, double crochet. Once again, if you are new to this stitch, yes, she is the queen, Molly. Brianna K is the queen of the wheat stitch. She is amazing. She has a wheat stitch sweater shawl or sweater scarf. She has a blanket. Tomorrow I'm going to be making a scarf. I don't have that next to me. It's on the couch of chaos. Um, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing a wheat stitch scarf, and then Thursday we're going to do the wheat stitch pumpkin. So Brianna K on YouTube, highly recommend if you want to learn how to do the wheat stitch. Brianna K is your girl. Brianna K. Okay, so here we go. Back post double crochet. Wrap our yarn around. Put our work forward. Slide our hook underneath the post. Grab up a loop. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. I'm doing half double crochet back loop only and adding the wheat stitch into it, and then add pockets to the scarf. Wow, Four Daughters, that sounds awesome. I hope you show pictures of that on the Discord. I think it'll turn out great. Wow, so cool. Okay, here we go. Wrap our yarn around. Again, put our work forward, slide our hook underneath that post, pull up a loop. Now we have three. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. Hey, Amanda, good morning. Hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. Um, I know I did. I got some crocheting in. I'm trying to get Mama Wheeler's going to be here on Thursday. Thursday evening, Mama Wheeler will get here. Last night, they spent the night in Albuquerque. And tomorrow or tonight, they're going to spend the night in Shamrock, Texas. And then what's today? Tuesday? Yeah. Wednesday night, they will be staying outside of Little Rock. And then Thursday, they will be here. So Mama Wheeler and Papa Wheeler are on the road. They probably will not be on the live this week, but their first day of travel was uneventful and they got all checked into their hotel. They stayed last night outside of Albuquerque, and I'm sure they'll be getting up and getting on the road here soon so they can come for a visit. So, anyhow, welcome in, friends. If you are new to my channel, I am a hobby crocheter. My name is April. Wheeler 8 Acres is kind of our nickname here. We live in Northeast Alabama, and my husband is an off-roader. He likes his four-wheel drives and mud trucks and all the guy stuff. So his nickname is Wheeler. And by default, I'm Mrs. Wheeler. So 8 acres is the amount of land that we have here. I live stream my deer camera over on YouTube along with my bird feeders. And we just love living here. We're originally from Arizona, and I do work remote. I work full time. So I usually come on live at 7:30 Central Time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning, 7:30 Central, and I stay on until about 9:30. At that time, I hop off and feed the dogs, feel the bird feeders, and then get ready to go to work. So that's kind of my little routine here. But again, welcome in. If you are new, my name is April, and we're glad to have you here this morning. As I say all the time, it's not just about me. We have a fabulous friend group here. Lots of fun in the mornings, people sharing their work and their days and their coffee with us. So we're glad to have each and every one of you here hanging out with us in the morning. And we hope to see you all again. So be sure and hit that follow button if you're liking the live, and you'll be able to find us again as we go on. So lots of stuff on deck for this week. Wheat stitch scarf tomorrow, and we're going to finish that pumpkin on Thursday. Maggie, good morning. Welcome in. Uh, y'all, this is my friend I love to watch on the weekends. If you are not scooping her up, you are missing out. I'll tell you. I watched both Saturday and Sunday. Amazing projects. Another great group of friends there. We have a lot of overlap. So be sure and check out that profile. Miss Maggie is fabulous. So, anyhow, y'all, if you are wondering what pattern I'm working on this morning, this is the Study of Snow. This is a free pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. Right now, we are working a back post double crochet all the way around. And in the corners, we are doing a half double crochet. Now, the Study of Snow is a square pattern. However, last week when we started this pattern, we modified it and made it into a rectangle. So if you want to know how to do the rectangle, you can check out my YouTube. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres, same thing as my TikTok here. And we are live this morning, both on TikTok and on YouTube. So appreciate everybody being here this morning as we work on this pattern. Once again, we're doing a back post double crochet. So the way I do this, if you are new to this stitch, I wrap my yarn around my hook. So we have two loops. I put my work forward. I slide my hook underneath the post of this stitch. I bring up a loop, so we have a total of 3 loops here on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So here we go again. Yarn over, put your work forward, slide your hook underneath that post, grab up a loop, back to 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. When we do post work, in this case, the back post, what is happening is it's leaving behind this really cool line of texture, which you can see right here forming. You can also see right here, we did back post work as well. This was a back post half double crochet around a single crochet. So that's why that one is a little more subtle here in the center. Our next stitch we're going to be doing is a crisscross stitch after we get done with this one. So we're going to have kind of another few rows of fun texture. Hey, sweet Grace, welcome in. Good morning, my friend. So once again, yarn over, put your work forward, grab up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Wrap our yarn around, again, put our work forward, grab up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. You'll get more proficient at this with time and practice, but I'm kind of showing the dramatic slow motion version for those that are new to this stitch. So pull up a loop. You can see there we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Wrap our yarn around, put the work forward, slide my hook underneath that post, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So, see how that texture is coming through? Isn't that slick? My grandpa used the word slick a lot. He used to say slicker than snot, as a matter of fact. My grandpa did. But it is pretty slick, that stitch. As you get more practice, you'll be more proficient at it and you'll be able to go faster with that stitch. But when you're first learning, give yourself some time. This is not a super easy stitch to learn. Okay, guys? So if you are new, to the back post, give yourself a little grace. It's not going to come right away. It took me quite a while to learn that stitch. In the corners, we're going to do half double, chain 2, and half double. Okay, now we're going to work along the other side here with our back post. Hey JT, good morning. Welcome in, my friend. Hope everybody is having a terrific Tuesday. Um, so for TikTok has been making some changes with the subscriber program over here, and they've combined the subscribe, as best I understand, they have combined the subscribers with the fan club. Okay. Now, I think the prices are all still the same for the subs at this point. But I know it is supposed to be going up. So if you wish to support my channel, you are not, this is not a requirement, guys. Some people like to do a little extra, and I do a little celebration event every month for those who are subscribed. Okay. Um, we'll see how all of this plays out, but you have the option to subscribe on TikTok, or you can become a member on YouTube. The member price over there is $2.99 on YT. Okay. It is the same celebration. So I take everybody's name who is a sub or a member, and I put them on the wheel and we do our little celebration item. Okay. Um, If you are a new sub, it's $9.99. You can only do the fan club by sending the heart me. Okay, so here is my opinion. Okay, and I'll probably get flagged for this. I honestly I don't care. I think $9.99 is really excessive, and I personally have a hard time um, giving that month every month. Okay, I think that's like um, I'm trying to say this nice, y'all, without getting in trouble, but I think it's a little cray cray, right? So you have, if you want to continue to support and be still involved in the celebration, you could go over to YT. The price is $2.99 to become a member. You hit the subscribe button on YT. Then there's another button that'll come up that says to join. Okay, so some people have been backing out of the sub over here on NTT land and moving over to YT, and you're completely free to do that. You don't have to sub or anything at all, guys. I personally, I work full time. I know some of you like to support, and that is the only reason why it is turned on, is because some do like to do a little extra support. And I do a little celebration every month. Okay. Last month we did 10 skeins of I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. This month I'm going to do a $50 Amazon gift card. Okay. So again, do not feel like you need to do that to keep supporting me. Just showing up, tapping your screen, having your coffee, having fun, chatting with friends, learning about crochet, talking about crochet. Go on the Discord, share your pictures. Seriously, y'all, take that $10, go buy yarn. Go buy yarn with it. Okay? Enjoy. Like it is crazy. It is cray cray. Okay? So please do not feel like you need to do those things for me. Okay, I would rather you go and you spend your money in other ways. Okay, so that is my 2 cents on it. Again, I might get dinged. I don't care. That's my feeling. Go buy yarn. Go buy something for your kid. Go buy yarn. Make something for your grandchild. Like I appreciate it. I love the support, but do not feel obligated to keep paying that cray cray amount. Okay. So some of you extended out your subs and you are at a lower price right now, but that is my 2 cents. I hope that makes sense to everybody, and I hope you can understand and appreciate where I'm coming from on this. I think there's better ways to invest in things, and you know, I'm not going to keep hashing it out, but hopefully it makes sense. All right. I try to keep it very real here, and I try to be honest with you guys. We will do a celebration again. We're going to do Amazon $50 gift card. We'll take everybody that's a member. You have to be a member over on YT, and there's some of you that are watching on YT or on TikTok that are members, or you have to be a sub here on TikTok. But again, do not feel obligated. I understand. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, pay your electric bills, all those things, right? Go buy more yarn. You guys need to make that decision for yourself, but that is my 2 cents. I think it's absurd. So, here we are, back around, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the very first stitch. Everything's going up in price. Oh my gosh, I bought hamburger over the weekend, and a 10-pound thing of hamburger was like $46. I think it was, and it used to be like $32 for a thing of hamburger. Now, I don't know how much it is in your neck of the woods, but we have to be careful how we're spending our money. And seriously, like, yeah, don't get me on a soapbox this morning. Let's just focus on our crochet. Y'all hit a nerve there. Hey, Paloma, good morning. All right, let's go back and revisit our pattern. We have just completed round number 7. Do, do, do. Very exciting. Now we're going to start round number 8. Now, when people are working on this pattern, round number 8 can kind of trip people up a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about this row. As we look at this row, let's direct our attention not here. Let's look over at this other side, because I think it's easier to understand the stitches over here on this side of the work. So once again, we remember these 2 chains are our corner space. Okay, so if we look at this stitch here, see how it's a T with a little hatch mark? That, if we come look at our legend, is a double crochet. So in our corner, what this is telling me is I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 2. Now remember, this is a slice of the pie. If we continue with that other slice of the pie, we're going to have another double crochet here. So my corner is double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now, as we look at these crisscrosses, do you see how this stitch is pointing to the corner? What that is telling me is as we are finishing out this row, my last stitch is actually going to be worked into that corner space. See how this half double we had here is floating, and there's nothing above this other than this little chain here? I'm not going to work these crisscrosses into that stitch. There's going to be one in between. Same thing as I look at this one. See how these are crisscrossed here, and there's a stitch that doesn't have anything going into it? However, there's a chain up here. So what this is telling me is if we come back now and look at this side, in the corner, I'm going to do a chain of 3 as my first stitch. Then into that same corner space, we're going to have this double crochet that comes into the corner. However, when we first do this, we're going to do our chain of 3. We're going to skip a stitch. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to ignore this one first. We're going to skip a stitch, do our double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to come back and do this double crochet back into that corner space and do our crisscross. Okay, so then after we do that little grouping, that crisscross, we're going to skip 2. We're going to skip this one, skip this one. Into the third is where we're going to do our next double crochet. Okay, so you're going to be skipping, do your double, then you do your chain, then we're going to come back and get this one we missed all the way back here. Okay, so this is a little more complicated of a row, But let's see how that looks in real life here as we work this stitch. Okay. So instead of a chain of 3, I'm going to work a standing double crochet. You, of course, can do your chain of 3 here. It's not a thing, but here's how I do mine. I pull up a loop that is about the size of my double crochet. I twist my hook backwards and away from me. I put a little twist here in my yarn. I go down through the space and I grab up my loop. So now I have 2 loops. I yarn over and pull through the first one. Now, instinctively, you want to pull through that second one, but I need to keep both of these loops on my hook to finish this stitch. So we're going to take this, I'm going to put my hook down and away from me, and I'm going to twist my hook up and around, keeping both those loops on my hook. And then I yarn over and pull through those stitches. Now you could also do a stacked single here as well. And here we go into the next double crochet. Or excuse me, I'm only supposed to have 1 double crochet here. Let's rewind that. Chain 2 and then double crochet. So there is our corner. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now we're going to skip the first stitch out. Remember, the first stitch, the top of the stitch sits to the right of the legs, okay? So this is the first stitch I'm going to skip. Into the next, we're going to do a double crochet. Now I'm going to do a chain 1, and I'm not going to work into that stitch I skipped. I'm going to work into the corner space with a double crochet. So I wrap my yarn around. I'm going to put my work forward and go into the corner. So I'm accessing that from the back, and then I'm going to complete my double crochet. So there's my crisscross. Okay, now we're going to skip 2. This is where I ended right here. See, that's where my first stitch was. So again, I'm going to skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. This chain 1 counts as this stitch right here. Now I'm going to work my double crochet into that very first one that I skipped. So I wrap my yarn around, again, put my work forward, and I kind of hold my thumb and my finger here to see where that stitch is, so it's easier to identify. Pull up my loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So again, there is our little crisscross. Skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. Again, the chain 1 counts as that one if we work backwards. So this is the stitch I'm going to work my next double crochet into. See it there? I kind of put my thumb here so I know where it's at. Yarn over, put my work forward, go under both loops, grab up my loop. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have another crisscross. Okay, here we go. Skip 2. Here's the one where I ended. So we're going to skip this one, into the third, double crochet, chain 1. Again, this chain 1 counts for this. 2 stitches back, get my thumb, yarn over, put my work forward. There's that stitch I need. Draw up my loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Skip 2 into the third, double crochet. Do you see how people can get confused on this row? Chain 1. Again, that chain counts for this one right here. This is the very first one that I skipped right here. So again, yarn over, put my work forward, slide my hook underneath both loops, grab up a loop, and yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. That chain counts for this one. I'm going to be working into that very first one we missed. Yarn over, put my work forward, slide under both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So now once again, here we are, skip 2 into the third. The third is the corner. So I'm going to work that last stitch into the corner, chain 1, that counts for that stitch. Here we are to this stitch, yarn over, and find that last or the first stitch we skipped. Okay, so there are our crisscrosses. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you explained this stitch before because I had been intertwining these crisscrosses. They are a little different, but basically what we're accomplishing here is these two stitches are independent of each other. See how you can pull them apart? There is another way to make crisscrosses, and it's not the way that Mikey did it, but I will also show that as we work our next round here. Okay, so here we go. Double crochet in the corner, chain 2, double crochet in the corner. I'm going to kind of work myself away from this corner here, and then I'll show the other way to make a crisscross, but it is different. And that's how come some people get mixed up. Okay, so I'll show the other way that I do crisscrosses. Okay, so I'm going to skip the first one into the next, double crochet, chain 1. The chain 1 counts for this stitch that I skipped right here. So once again, into the corner, double crochet, skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. Here's the one I'm skipping. Here's the very first one that we missed. Okay, so double crochet, yarn over, put our work forward, slide underneath. Hannah, have a great day at work. I hope is today your first day or was yesterday your first day? You're probably already gone and can't even answer, but I hope your new job is going great. Okay, skip 2 into the third, double crochet. I'm missing a lot of comments this morning, friends. I do apologize for that. We're doing a lot of stitch talk this morning. Mrs. Melody, good morning. Lulu, good morning. Welcome in. Friends, the mods are trying to help pin the comments. Let's do a whole pattern rundown here in just a minute so we can talk about this and kind of catch everybody up who's been just joining. This morning, I am working on a pattern called the Study of Snow. Study of Snow. This is a free pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. Now, here's the thing. This pattern by Mikey is a square pattern. I have modified this and we are making a rectangle. This is our first time making this pattern in a rectangle shape. And here is where we're currently at. Let's flatten this little guy out. But you can see here on the corner where we're at. Right now we're doing these little crisscrosses and adding this texture. And here we go all the way across. You can see how pretty it is looking. So once again, this pattern is called the Study of Snow. This is one of my favorite patterns, guys. I absolutely love it. And it is a free pattern by the Crochet Crowd. Mikey is a huge inspiration to me personally. I know he has inspired so many people. But this is one of my favorite. I love the texture. I love how it works out. I make it for baby blankets. I make it for Afghan size. I've done it with 3-weight, 4-weight, and I'm actually working on it with a bulky weight right now. I'm using some of the anniversary cakes to make a blanket with this same pattern. Again, he made this pattern with a 6 super bulky yarn. When you see that on the pattern, do not be alarmed and do not let it detract you from making this pattern. Okay. Again, this morning we are using a 3-weight yarn and I have changed my hook size to match my yarn. I've also done it with a 4-weight and an I9 hook. I don't have to modify anything about the pattern other than change the size of your yarn and make your hook match your yarn. Okay. And you'll have a very good result. This is worked in a square shape. It has full written directions. You can find this on his page. You can also find it on the Yarnspirations website. The part that I love about Mikey's patterns is he also gives us a diagram. Friends, I cannot read a written pattern. It's one of the things about me. I don't even try. I should give it some effort, but honestly, when I see all of this text like this, as I've explained before, you know the little teacher on Snoopy who goes wah 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 wah, that is what this means to me, all this text. However, these diagrams I can understand and I can follow them. The other thing is Mikey has a full video tutorial of this where he walks you through step by step how to do the rows. Okay. So lots of resources available to do this pattern. Check it out. I know you'll like it. The yarn that I'm using today is a Lion Brand yarn. I am not affiliated with Lion Brand. I'm not affiliated with anybody, guys. I'm affiliated with myself. But I like to share the things that I enjoy working with. This is the Mandala bonus bundle. This is a ginormous skein of yarn. It is a whopping 1,181 yards, 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. This 3-weight yarn is perfect if you want to do a lightweight cardigan. You can see I worked from the center is where that peach color was. Now we're working out to the orange, and we're going to be transitioning to the gold and yellow colors. So it feels like fall to me. But the colorway is actually called Elektro. Now, again, 3-weight yarn. It calls for an H8 a 5 millimeter hook. I am using an I9 hook this morning. Net asked, where did you get it? Very good question. I will tell you, Michaels sells this yarn. Do not buy this yarn at Michaels. It's $24 at Michaels, which is absolutely insane. I first look at Wally World. Go to Wally World's website, Walmart. Look for this yarn. They have it in different colorways. The last time I picked it up there, I paid $13.60 a skein. $13.60 versus Michaels, $24 a skein. You can see why I said don't buy it at Michaels. If the color you do not have is not available at Walmart, then I recommend you go to the Lion Brand website itself and wait for a sale. Even without a sale. Wow, thank you so much for the butterfly, Gen X. That is beautiful. I love butterflies. I love butterflies. Um, Check out Lion Brand's website, okay? At Lion Brand, they were like $15, and they do have sales on their yarn. This weekend, there was a sale. I don't know if it's still going on, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper at Lion Brand than it is at Walmart, okay? So definitely check out Walmart, check out Lion Brand before you go to Michael's, friends. It's if you get it at Michael's, you're going to pay more. Lisa B said, sometimes you can get a 3-pack. Lisa B, that is exactly what I do. I buy a 3-pack usually. And it's enough for me to, 1,100 yards is a lot. So here's the thing. If you're making a hexagon cardigan, right? The size medium is 1,200 yards. So this is 1,181 yards. But most of us are not a size medium, right? You have to go up sizes, or maybe you go down sizes. But like if you're going to be doing a cardigan, for me, I'm grande size. I need more than two. But well, I haven't mathed that out to be sure. Maybe I could get away with two. But I think if you're doing a large, you would still need two of these, or an extra large, you would need two of these. But anyhow, it works up nice. And this is a very nice, soft yarn. It is not super scratchy. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like kind of run of the road, middle of the road, not too scratchy. I feel like the three little bears going to grandma's house. It feels not too scratchy, not too um, soft. It doesn't split. It feels just right, you know? So anyhow, that is the rundown of what we are making today. Again, the pattern is Study of Snow by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. You can find the pattern on Yarnspirations, or you can find it on the Crochet Crowd website. This is what it's called, The Study of Snow. And you can download the PDF either at the Crochet Crowd or at Yarnspirations. Okay, that's the pattern that I'm making. The colors do not fade either. Mandala maintains after washing. JT, you are a wealth of knowledge, my friend. I appreciate you being here this morning. Yeah, this colorway is called Elektro, but we're more in the orange now, the orange color. So we're just going to keep working this around. I'm not controlling the color at all. I'm just working the stitches and letting them flow as they come out of the skein. So we're doing a crisscross double crochet right now. The way that we're doing the crisscross is we're skipping 3 stitches or skipping 2 and working into the third. So we're going to skip 2 Into the third, I'm doing my double crochet. Then I'm chaining one, working backwards. This chain is for this stitch right here. We're going to work a double crochet into the first stitch that we skipped, which is this one right here. So what I do is I kind of put my thumb and my middle finger there to pinpoint where that stitch is at. I wrap my yarn around, I put my work forward, I slide my hook underneath those two loops, draw up a loop. So now we have three, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. And that is my crisscross. Now, as we work this stitch, we're going to be working 3 half double crochets into this crisscross. So if we look at our other example here, this is another blanket I'm working with the same stitch. See right here, this is our puff stitches. This back post right here is what we just did here. Okay, so this peach line right here is the same as this purple line. See our crisscross? This is the crisscross right here, that row right there. And then you can see how there's 3 half doubles that go into that crisscross. See it there? That is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so that's how the pattern works out. Let's see. Can you, sorry, I missed some of these comments, guys. Okay, I think I'm okay. Guys, if I missed your comment or your question, feel free to ask again. We're doing a lot of Stitch Talk today, guys, and I am missing some comments. The mods are trying to help answer the questions as well, but feel free to ask again if I missed you. It is not intentional that I'm overlooking you guys. Seriously, I'm just trying to explain these stitches, and sometimes the comments fly fast and furious when we have this many people watching. So I'm really trying to keep up, but we have an awesome group of loves. Yes, let's show some mod love while we can this morning, guys. Our moderators are incredible and they really do an amazing job. I could not do this without them. They really help me so much and they help answer all of your guys' questions and stuff. They really are amazing. So thank you, mods, for being here and hanging out, especially on a heavy Stitch Talk day. So here we go. We're going to skip two into the third, double crochet. Then we're going to chain one. The chain one counts as this stitch right here. So I'm looking backwards and working these ones that we missed. So my chain one is this. And then the very first stitch that we skipped right here, I put my thumb and that way I know where I'm working. Yarn over, put our work forward, slide my hook under both loops and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. How many skeins do you think are needed for a baby blanket for the Study of Snow? It depends, Lulu, on how big you're making it. When I do the Rachel's Gift, they usually take, it depends on the skein of yarn, but they, usually I'm pretty safe with like two if I'm using Lion Brand. But again, it just kind of depends on how many yards are in your skein. Not all skeins are created equal, right? So if I do the blanket for Rachel's Gift, I can usually get by with one skein of white and one skein of variegated if I mix the two together. So two skeins. I don't know how much the well I could look. The colored ones are smaller though. These ones have like 355 yards, so probably like 900 yards is what I'm thinking you would need. Wait, to be safe, like 850, maybe 400, depending on how big you make it. When I do the Rachel's Gift, they're only like 21 inches, I think. Oh, my tablet has frozen, y'all. Let's see if I might have to restart this thing. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I watch the comments, guys, as you're typing your comments. I watch them from my moderator account and answer the questions on the screen that way. I don't actually look at them on my phone. But Anyhow, it's I might have to restart my tablet. It's done this every week so far. I don't know why. TikTok is just spinning over there. Maybe it gets confused cuz no, we're not tied together though. Let's see. Let me try to restart it again. It won't even pull up my profile. Oh, tech, tech stuff. Just let me crochet, please. Sorry, I'm going to be missing some comments, guys. I can't see them right now. I'm trying to restart my tablet. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Might need an upgrade on the tablet. Well, I just updated it over the weekend. This is the very latest of the iPads. I just got it like a month ago, and I spent a you know what ton of money on it because I had an Android tablet and it wasn't working very well because my phone is Android or is I use an iPhone, and my tablet was Android and they weren't playing very nice together. So I went ahead and did the I'm gonna have to restart this. Hang on. This I literally just restarted it before. Let's see, where's the bulb? Where's the little button? There's the little button. Am I pressing the right button? Why am I special this morning? Don't answer that. That was a rhetorical question. Do not answer why I'm special this morning. Let me hang on. I can't see what I'm doing here. Maybe I have to press these two. I can't ever remember what buttons there are to restart it. I thought it was this button. Oh, there we go. I got it. Lordy, I'm special this morning, you guys. Oh. Chris said, I think I am blocked from TikTok. I can only get you on here. Can you DM me, Chris, on TikTok? Or I don't think I have anybody blocked on my TikTok, but try to send me a DM, Chris, on TikTok. Or what is your handle on TikTok? If you don't mind sharing it, I'll ask one of the mods to look. Okay, the tablet is almost restarted, guys. 1 second here. I'll be able to see the comments in just a moment. Hopefully this works. Everybody say a little TikTok prayer this morning. Profile. Following. Something went wrong. Try again. And we're back. Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay, here's what I'm doing, Rita. So this is where I just finished my crisscross here. Dog mods, can you see if Dog Mama 530 is blocked? DOGMAMA 530. We don't need to block Dog Mama. Oh yeah, Jen said you're not blocked on TikTok. Chris, maybe try exiting and coming back and trying again. Jen said you're not blocked. We typically don't unless you're being completely unruly on the live. It's pretty hard to get blocked over here, guys. So I skipped 2 and I worked a double crochet into the third stitch. Okay, skip 2 into the third double crochet. Chain 1. The chain 1 counts as the middle stitch here. Then I'm going to work all the way back to the very first one that we skipped. Yarn over, put my work forward, slide my hook underneath that stitch, and then work my double crochet. The pattern says chain 1 working in front of the double crochet you just made. You can work it in front, but I don't like how it works. I don't like how it looks in front. Hang on, let me turn the corner and I'll show you what I mean by that. You can either work it in the front or you can work it in the back. There's a lot of different ways you can work this, guys. Here we go in the corner, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So let me get away from the corner because the corner is a little confusing. I'm going to skip 1, work into the second stitch, double crochet, chain 1. Now working into this corner, I do my double crochet from the back. So what the question is, guys, is the pattern says work it from the front. So same thing, you skip 2 into the third, double crochet. No matter what, you're going to have this chain 1 right here. This chain 1 counts as the second stitch that you skipped. So we need to work a double crochet into the first stitch that we skipped. Now I work my double crochet from the back, and it's easier for me to work that stitch, but you can work it from the front as well if that is easier for you. So what you have to do is yarn over, put your hook underneath that stitch. Now you can't encase that stitch. You have to slide between that stitch to work that crisscross. Okay, and you work it from the front that way. It makes it so that your crisscross looks like this if you work it from the front. So here's another one from the front. If you like working it from the front, you totally can. Skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. Chain 1 counts as my second skip stitch, so I'm going to work into the first stitch here. So again, yarn over under those 2 loops. Now remember, you can't go like this and encase that stitch. You have to keep it right with just those 2 loops and finish your double crochet. If you encase your stitch, 1, 2, 3, it's going to look like this. I'm going to rip all this out, guys, but let's do it for you know what's and giggles so we can kind of see. So here's the one I skipped. Here's the very first one. Again, through, if you go all the way through like this and crisscross, what that does is it encases this stitch is now encased in this one. And a lot of times I do crisscrosses like that. When I do my baby blankets, um, I uh, I will encase them like that. It gives it a different look, and typically I don't do a chain on top. So you totally, if you can't figure it out, but it definitely gives it a different look if it's encased. Okay, they're not like independent of each other. See how this one wraps around? So those are your options, really. You could do it any of those ways, however you feel comfortable with it. Now, I personally like how it looks when I go through the back, and I can do it faster. And so if I'm cruising along here, I've done my chain. When I go like this and put my work forward, what happens is my hook is pushing this stitch forward, allowing me just to grab this stitch up like this. Versus if I go through the front, I have to kind of finagle that, and it becomes harder for me to get my hook at the right angle when I work through the front. So again, here's the front stitch. I almost have to use my thumb to pull that stitch backwards and make it work. Do you see how it's kind of a struggle for me? Again, this just could be an April is special kind of thing. But that is why I prefer to work it from the back. So it's just it works faster for me when I go through the back, and it gives the same look. So let's pull this back out, and I'll show you again how I can work it faster from the back. So skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1. The chain 1 counts as this stitch, working as this stitch. Again, see how my hook is pushing that forward? Grab my loop up and then finish my double crochet. Does that help, Scam? Does that help to explain why I'm working it from the back versus the front, how the pattern calls for? Either way is completely acceptable, guys. You have to find what works for you. That is the beautiful thing about crochet. I will say all the time, I am a bit of a crochet rebel. I do things how they make sense to me and are more efficient for me, even if it kind of deviates from the pattern a little bit. I do not worry about that. There are no rules in crochet. There are no crochet police to come and arrest me on my couch for crocheting not exactly by the pattern. So here is the thing, guys. As I'm working this pattern, I have several checkpoints at which where I check to make sure my counts are accurate. Okay. So there are a few stitches in this pattern, a few rows where I check. I check the puff stitches and I make sure I have the appropriate amount of puff stitches on each side. So I will count those. I do not count my back post or my double crochets. However, I do count my crisscrosses right here. Okay, so what I mean by that is as I'm crocheting along, I need to make sure my blanket is staying square, or in this case, rectangle. So what I will do is I will come to my side and I will count my crisscrosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As I just finished this side, I want to make sure this also has 7, hereby ensuring that my blanket is going to stay to the correct shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I'm crocheting along and I only have 6 crisscrosses, or I have 8 crisscrosses, at this point, I need to make a modification to this little section right here and get back on track. Okay, same thing on my sides. Here's our little rectangle shape, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, I have 20 on my long side. So as I do this next row, I need to make sure I have 20 crisscrosses. And then as I work these next rows up right here, I don't count any of them. The next counting point to make sure I'm on track is when I do my puff stitches once again. So, again, that's a little cheat that I use. Some people will count every single row and make sure they have the appropriate number of stitches. And I rebel it up. I don't like to do all that counting. The other checkpoint, if you wanted to throw another one in, I would checkpoint on row number 11, row number 11 right here, because row number 11, you go from 7 crisscrosses, 7 of these little half post, half double V stitch things, 7 V stitches here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see here we actually go up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be another good row if you wanted to do the checkpoint method. Okay, so again, if you want to count every row, that is entirely up to you. I just take the liberty of only counting at certain points, but that is, a personal preference. You have to make the decision as a crocheter for yourself. So once again, we're going to skip 2 stitches into the third, double crochet, chain 1, and now again, this chain counts for this stitch. I'm going to work into our very first stitch that we skipped with my double crochet, and I'm accessing that from the back. Skip 2 into the third, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 into the first, double crochet, skip 2 and the third, double crochet, chain 1, skip this one, put our work forward, grab that first one that we skipped, 1, 2, here's the third, double crochet, skip 1, here's our next, double crochet, into the third, double crochet, chain 1, skip this one, working in this one. Cheston says, sometimes I'm a complete rebel and don't count. Dog Mama, were you able to get on the live on TikTok? Miss Dog Mama? Give a wave if you were able to get on. What is the purple yarn you use for the other blanket? Oh, Miss Karen, welcome in, Karen. Good morning. Sorry if I missed you earlier. This purple yarn I'm using is Premier. It is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Gradient Yarn in the colorway Purple Tones. Really pretty yarn. I'm making a full-size blanket with this. I haven't been working with this on the live, guys, because it's really big and it's hard. I worked on this blanket this morning a little bit. Hannah said, "Did I hear the rooster, or was that?" No, you're hearing the rooster. Stud Muffin is out there roostering it up this morning. He's saying hi to the world and hi to all of you. He's probably out here beside my window or on the deck or something, but he's out there. You can kind of hear him a little bit. I go quiet and then he doesn't do it. He is loud. He is loud. uh, yeah, this pattern gives really good texture. But yeah, you can hear Stud Muffin. Our rooster's name is Stud Muffin, and he's out there roostering it up this morning. I paused because I was trying to hear Stud Muffin. We have a block house, guys. We have brick house, but he still comes in loud and clear for sure. He's definitely a loud rooster, but he's a good rooster. He really is. So, did you hear him? He's funny. Does Mikey have the instructions to make a rectangle? He does not. Mikey does not. We modified this pattern. You can rewatch the live of how we did this, guys, over on my YouTube. Mikey's pattern is a square pattern, and we modified it. So I will give you the quick rundown of how we modified it. Yeah, Kiana, he's saying good morning. Um, but check it out on my live. We started from the very beginning last week. I think it was Wednesday, but don't quote me on that. So when you look at my YouTube, you'll see a category that says videos. There's a category that says shorts, and there's a category that says live. You need to go to the live tab of my YouTube and you can see all of the replays. And look for the one that looks like this, and it's called Fall Feels Like Fall Blanket. Now, I am live this morning as well. We're working on part 2 of the blanket, but part 1 you can see how we started this. But I chained a total of 39 chains. When I start these blankets, how you calculate the chain, I'm talking about from right here to right here. Okay, it's a little hard to see on the live, but from right here to right here is the starting chain. And how you math it out is you take the finished width and length size. So if you want to make a throw blanket, okay, let's say you want to make a 50 by 60 throw blanket. You take 60 inches, the length, and you subtract the width, the 50. So you would take 60 minus 50 is 10 inches. So when I make the starting chain, I make it as long as whatever that math equation works out to be. So in my case, it was 10 inches. I'm doing a 35 by 45. So it's hard to see, but here's our 0 mark. Here's our 10-inch mark over here, 10-inch. Okay, so my starting chain is 10 inches. Now, as you are doing that, it needs to be divisible by 3. So I chain and I get it to 10 inches. Then I count the number of stitches that I have. So let's say at 10 inches, it's like 37 chains. 37 is not divisible by 3. So I would either need to take off a chain and make it 36, or I would need to add 2 more chains and make it 39. So that is how I calculate it. And the reason why we need it to be divisible by 3 is because for round 2, we are working granny cluster stitches that you can see right here. So for me, I chained 39, then I chained 1, so 40, and I then worked a single crochet back into that starting chain. Now, if you want to make a foundation chain, you most certainly could. I do not work with foundation chains. I'm old school. So I chained a total of 40. Working in the second one from my hook, I did a single crochet in the back bump of every single one of those chains that we made. When I did that, it puts a nice finished edge on both sides. Okay. So it kind of looks like a little ladder in the middle. Then when you get to the corner, the very edge of your chain, I do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. This ends up being a rectangle side of our corner. Then I work around the chain. I skip 2, into the third, I do 3 double crochets. Skip 2, 3 double crochets, skip 2, 3 double crochets, all the way along the side until I get to the very end. And once again, I do my 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And then working along the side, same thing, skip 2 into the third. That is why you need it to be divisible by 3, because we're working granny clusters into the third stitch. Okay. From that point, I started working the pattern. So this granny thing here is essentially this part right here of Mikey's pattern. Instead of making it a square where we did 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, we did our rectangle shape in place of that. Then I continued working all of the rows exactly the same, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Right now, we are working on row 8. Now, this is a repeating pattern. Once I get up here to row 13, this tells me to come down here. Rows 4 and 13 are the same. So once I reach 13, I'm going to come down here to row 4, and I'm going to start row 5 and work my way up and around. And I'm going to keep working until I get this pattern as big as I want it. So hopefully that helps you to figure out how to make your starting chain. So if you were going to do a blanket that is, let's just throw out a number, 75 by 50, okay, you would take 75 minus 50. 75 is the length, 50 is the width. 75 minus 50 is 25 inches. So your starting chain would need to be 25 inches, but also divisible by 3. Okay. You can pretty much make any blanket that way, turning it into a rectangle. So a lot of people have been making the Grace blanket, right? The Grace blanket is a square blanket. I maintain that you could change the Grace blanket in the exact same fashion that I just made this blanket. Figure out your finished size that you want. Your middle is going to look like this, and then you continue on with the Grace pattern from there. Does that make sense? That was crazy to look at. You understand that. Chloe, I do understand this. Are you talking about the diagram? We do a lot of diagram talk. Chloe, I think you might be new to my channel. Welcome. We're glad to have you. We will do a lot of diagram talk because here's the thing, Chloe. I don't read patterns. So when your pattern has all of the text like this and it tells you how to do it, I don't read this at all. To me, this is like the Snoopy teacher where she's up there talking and it's like wah 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 wah. That's what how my brain works for this. So I probably think opposite of you where I read this and it makes sense. And so anyhow, it will come with time. But there are people here who, when we first started talking about diagrams, they said, I can't read a diagram. Just like I say, I can't read a pattern. There were folks here in the chat right now. I guarantee it. There's somebody here who said at the very beginning, I can't read a diagram. How do you even understand that? And we have explained and talked about this so much, and we will continue to talk and explain about this as we work along. There are now people who can say, I can read a diagram now. So stick with us here. It's a lot of fun, and we're glad to have you. We're glad to have everybody here in the mornings. If you are new to my channel, my name is April, and I come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. Now, I am not an expert crocheter, friends. I am a hobby crocheter. Pardon me, got a little tickle. Can you tell I've been talking for 2 hours now? Get a little drink of my coffee here. Ooh. I am a hobby crocheter. I come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:30 Central Time. I chat and have coffee here with my friends, and we do a lot of stitch talk and yarn talk and all things crochet related. We do a lot of talking that's not crochet related here as well. I talk about my dog and my chickens and the wild deer that come in and whatever, I talk about my husband. So we do some chit chat here too. But at 9:30 I hop off and then I get ready to go do my full-time job. So again, I'm not an expert. I learn things every single day about crochet. I learn something new. While I'm at work, I work remote. I have YouTube up and I'm trying to learn new stitches and bring new things. Last week, I learned the wheat stitch for the first time. I'm very, very excited. Last week, we did all wheat stitch stuff. We're going to be doing more wheat stitch patterns for the rest of the week here. Tomorrow, we're going to be working on a wheat stitch scarf. And on Thursday, we're going to finish the pumpkin, the wheat stitch pumpkin, which we started last week. You guys were all here for the little pumpkin. This is where we're at with it. So we're going to do this little guy on Thursday. We've got to get him finished up. So that's what's on deck for the rest of this week. But guys, if you're enjoying the live, be sure and hit the follow button so you can find us again. And I hope everybody is having a great day. Kimberly, are you talking about the pumpkin colorway? I have a lot of yarns going on here. This is the wheat stitch pumpkin. This is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn in burnt orange. And the variegated that you see here is I love this yarn. Also, this is the print and it is called Autumn Stripe. So I'm using 2 yarns for this, for the pumpkin. You can watch part 1 of the pumpkin we did last week. So this is already on the live. All of it that you see here is on the live. The pattern for this is Brianna K on YouTube. Brianna K is the wheat stitch queen, you guys. She is amazing. Now, for the pattern we're doing today, we're working on a fall blanket. This is the Study of Snow by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. Uh-oh. Emma, hey. Oh, my husband's here with the truck. He's bringing in some dirt. Sorry about the barking, y'all. We got the guard dog on guard. So anyhow, this is the Study of Snow by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. And the colorway that I'm using this morning for this is the Lion Brand Mandala bonus bundle. This is what it looks like. This is the colorway Elektro. And I would recommend getting this yarn at either Walmart or on Lion Brand. Do not get this yarn at Michael's. It's overpriced. Okay. Do not go to Michael's for this yarn. So that is what we're working on today. Yes, Mo and Diesel. Mo is outside, or Mo is inside with me. Diesel is outside. But my husband just came with a dump truck load full of dirt. He's doing some yard work out there around his shop. He was working on it over the weekend. And anyhow, he spread all that dirt. He spread out 2 dump truck loads of dirt. So he's bringing in some more to get the job finished off. His work wanted the dirt moved, and so he's bringing it up here. They just gave him the dirt. They gave him the dirt. So anyhow, guys, it's 9:16 here for me, and I have got to get ready to go to work here. So this is a great stopping place for me. So we're going to pop in a little stitch marker, but I'll continue working on the Study of Snow. We'll probably do another rectangle at some point. But I think it's coming up real. It's coming out really nice. I'm really digging it. I can't wait to get to the yellow and see how those colors are working out. But isn't it cool looking? I think it's turning out really nice. So tomorrow I'll be back 7:30 Central, 8 Pacific. 8:30 Pacific if you would like to join tomorrow. Again, tomorrow we'll be both on TikTok and on YouTube, and we will be working on the Mama Maggie says, "How come I got blocked on TikTok? All I comment, I'm left-handed and have a hard time learning, but will try." Mama Maggie, what is your handle on TikTok? Um, I'm not sure why you were blocked. The mods, sometimes if you don't comment and you just put like it's called ghost tagging somebody, you will get blocked for that. We try to keep the spam out of the chat when there's a lot of people, so it could have been an oversight. It could be just a glitch. I don't know. They're making changes on TikTok as well, guys. So I know it's kind of weird. This morning I had a whole shopping cart that I didn't set up that I had to turn off. It's a little wonkety over here in TikTok land. But Mama Maggie, tell me if you can, if you feel comfortable, or DM me, what is your handle on TikTok, if you don't mind sharing? And I'll have the mods look and make sure that we get that taken care of. But guys, if you are on the TikTok or on YouTube, be sure we keep politics and religion out of it. Okay. So we don't allow that. We try to keep it positive and upbeat here, and we try to keep it crochet related, fiber arts related. Okay. So make sure you're following those guidelines. We need to keep a safe community here for all of our guests that are watching. Um, but anyhow, I hope you all have a great day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for all of the comments, the shares, the likes, the gifts. Special shout out to our subscribers as well and our members over on TikTok. Thank you all so much for all of the support and love this morning. I most certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Jen, the username is Mama Maggie 420. Now I can't see any of your page. Can you unlock, please, Mama Maggie 420? I will also look after the live over there. Okay. So, guys, be sure and follow those guidelines. Okay. Keep it family friendly here. We do have folks that watch with their kids and everything. Leah said you're not blocked, Mama Maggie. I'm not sure what is going on. It seems very odd this morning. You are the second complaint that has happened, and neither one were blocked. So, I'm sorry, y'all. You know how it goes in TikTok land. Try again tomorrow, Mama Maggie, and let me know if you're having a problem. Come to my YouTube again, and we'll try to investigate what's going on. Bye for now, guys. Have a great day. Have a terrific Tuesday. Love you all. Bye for now.